Hey everybody, how you doing today? This is Chris McCallum, Battle Axe in the Forums. This is going to be another installment for the Quick Tips segment of the forums. You can also get it out of the playlist section in my YouTube channel. This is going to be about min-waxing planes. Min-waxing is something that helps prep your plane for paint, and it also waterproofs, water resistant, all that kind of stuff for outdoor flying, that kind of thing, flying in the wintertime, water planes, rain, whatever you're into, right? We all know that foam board, as soon as it picks up moisture, the paper will delaminate. We're going to help eliminate that. And it's super easy steps to this. It is going to be a quick video. To kind of give you an idea of what I'm using for the actual min-wax is min-wax itself. But to give you an idea of what the can is, if you take a look at this, this is the min-wax. It is a polyurethane. It is a clear satin as well, fast drying. This here is a, what does it say, 236 ml can. This is what I like using for min-waxing my plane, just for the fact that it is a smaller can. These are usually about $13 to $15 over at Home Depot, Rona, that kind of stuff, wherever you guys pick up your paint supplies. There's Canadian Tire here as well. We're also looking at, you can get the bigger cans, the ones that are like paint can size. I think they're, about 1.5 liters, 2 liters of actual min-wax. It is end up being a way better deal. It's like $30 or $32 or $33 a can, and it's like 6 times the amount here. I like the smaller cans just because I can get 5 to 6 planes out of one of these little guys. Anyway, to kind of give you an idea of what else I'm using, I do have one of these foam brushes. This is all you need. You don't need anything fancy. You can get a package of these of like 5 at the dollar store or whatever, that kind of stuff. And what else do I need? Paper towel. This is going to be what I'm going to use to wipe it off and clear it up. So I'll just get to it. I'm going to open up my can here, make sure it's well shook. It won't really tend to separate, but depending on where you're at in the can, maybe I've gone a bit viscous, that kind of stuff. So, can open. I got about quarter to a third of a can in here. This should be enough to at least get this entire plane done. The plane that I'm doing actually is going to be the bushwhacker. So I'll kind of give you guys an idea of how to do it. A lot of you already know. This is something that you could either you could do right before you paint. It helps prep your paint. The one thing I would suggest is make sure you have everything glued on your plane before you apply the min-wax. Hot glue doesn't tend to stick to min-wax very well because it is an oil base. Make sure that you go with an oil base, not a water base. The water-based stuff does tend to stretch and wrinkle the foam before it dries, or the paper that's laminated onto the foam before it dries, and it just makes a complete mess. You kind of want to stay away from that. Use the oil-based stuff. Again, make sure everything is already installed, assembled. As far as your plane goes, you don't need to glue anything back on it. So I'll just get right to it. So as far as applying it, I'm going to take my foam brush, dip it into the can, take off some of the excess off the edge of the can, that kind of stuff. And there is no real science to this. As far as like doing it on the plane, just go over it. You'll see how it lays down, and what it's going to do is it's actually going to start to soak in. Now, you're going to see areas that you've already gone over where it looks like it hasn't soaked in yet. Just give it a couple minutes. You can pat on it and stuff like that. Get it to actually spread out. If you have any areas where you have packing tape and stuff like that, make sure you give that a light sand with a anywhere from like a 200 to a 400 grit sandpaper. It's just to scuff the surface. It's nothing really huge or anything like that. So what I'm going to do for this first part, a little bit on your brush actually goes a long way, is I'm just going to go ahead and let this brush on and then soak in. It's going to soak in for about 5 minutes. So within that 5 minutes, you don't have to sit there and twiddle your thumbs or anything like waiting for glue to dry or anything like that. Go to the other side of the plane. Take that, grab a little bit more min-wax on the brush. And this is why this stuff goes a long way. These little cans actually, like I said, will do about 4 or 5 planes. We'll do the other side. So we're getting it, going over it. Super simple stuff. There's no science to it. You don't have to go in like certain directions or anything. Basically just get it wet, right? So I'm going all over all my parts that I'm looking to keep waterproofed here. If you actually take a look on YouTube as well, I don't have a microscope or anything like that, but the cool thing is this stuff actually scientifically, and like if you want to look at metrics and stuff like that, you can see where guys have actually put test pieces of the foam board that they've done, haven't done, to kind of compare the two. You'll see that the Minwax itself actually fills in all the little fibers of the paper itself, so it actually does give it a smoother surface, which helps repel the water. It doesn't hold on to the water or any sort of moisture. You can see I pretty much got it all over this side of the plane now, and the other side's been soaking since I've been brushing it on. Get some little detail-y areas here, that kind of stuff. But there's no real science to it. This really isn't that difficult. Just kind of like, you know, plug and play operation. So, got that done. I'm going to now take my paper towel. I got a piece of paper towel here. Going to go back over to the other side. It's been well soaked in enough now. I'm just going to go ahead and wipe it off to a smooth finish. And after wiping it off, you might actually see some areas that maybe you missed, or, you know, that didn't quite soak in properly. It's fine. Just go right back over it again. Let it soak in. And you'll see the foam itself, it'll go from the white to almost a translucent. You see some areas here where I did miss. So I'm just going to go at it over again. Not too big of an issue. You'll see it actually soak in. It will go kind of like a little bit of a grayish, yellowish color once you apply it. That's fine. We're going to paint it anyway. But yeah, just make sure it's all on there. Then go ahead. Just wipe it off. You'll get a smooth satiny sort of finish out of it, even as it's wet. And then once it's dry, because it is a satin, it's actually best to go with a satin as opposed to a gloss. Helps the paint adhere better if you're painting your plane. And I don't really like the look of glossy planes anyway. But yeah, that's it. Just wipe it off. Now at this point in time, what you're going to do is just let it dry up for like 2 or 3 hours. It'll be dry to the touch. You can go over it with the paint, spray cans, you can go over it with brushes, any sort of acrylics, I would say latexes, or like any sort of enamels, it doesn't matter. You'll end up finding that your plane is well protected. Take it out in the rain, take it out in the snow. It could be your water plane. It really doesn't matter. It actually protects it really well, and the nice part is it actually will help your plane last longer. And as far as crashes go, when it comes to you know, say you got a chunk of your wingtip out or something like that because you hit a tree branch or something like that. What you're going to find is that the foam, because it has been min-waxed, doesn't tend to have all that mushy crushed areas around it. It's going to be more of a clean break. Like if a branch goes through the wingtip or something like that, it's going to be a clean break, and you'll easily be able to cut that area out and then go on to you know, patching a new piece in. Even though I said that, you know, you don't want to be gluing stuff after the fact that you've min-waxed, because now that you've wiped it off and haven't let it soak through all the way into the foam, doing those patched areas, the glue will actually stick to the actual foam on the inside a lot better than trying to stick something just to the outside kind of idea. You don't want it to soak all the way through to the foam. Like I said, just give it like 5 minutes or so, and then you'll actually find that you know, even your crashes, the stuff you have to fix after crashes, works out easy to fix. Anyway, that's pretty much it. It's a really easy, simple technique. Like I said, coat the entire plane with it. Do one panel at a time. Let it sit for like 5 minutes. In that 5 minutes, go ahead, do another panel, come back to the original panel, and then wipe it off. Easy, easy stuff. And the nice part is you'll get so many benefits out of it after the plane is done, not only with the waterproofing side of it, but also, you know, with damage you know, control, that kind of stuff after crashing. Anyway, thank you very much. This has been my pleasure to give you guys this tip. Hope you guys benefit from it. And if you like the video, like and subscribe. You know how that works. This is YouTube, and you know, recommend it. Anyway, have a good day. Till the next time. Bye.